Hello, everyone. This is Brother Benson, and I'm joined with my good brother here, Mzalendo. Mzalendo, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Long time. How have you been?
I've been good. Maybe on your side.
No, I've been doing fine. The week has been very, very busy.
Mm-hmm.
We are now in spring.
Yes.
We are welcoming spring. We can see the flowers and all that
Yeah.
popping out. So we can't complain. We thank God for
Yeah.
being with us throughout this month. We're almost completing the month. We're
Yeah.
heading towards April, Easter.
and
Yeah,
and I and I tell you the month is running very fast.
yeah. The month is really catching up, with us. Each and every day,
Mm-hmm.
uh, each and every day, it comes with a lot of surprises.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it is life, whether it is politics, every other day, every
Mm-hmm.
other moment, there is something that is surprising us. So,
Mm-hmm.
but we thank God that we are still alive and able to have a discussion with fellow Kenyans and our friends, and those who are not able to join. We also pray for them in a way or the other, because si watu wote
Yeah.
wanasikia vizuri wakati huu. Some people wanaugua,
Mm-hmm.
wengine wako na mashida shida hivi,
Yeah.
yeah. So tunaweka wote kwa maombi.
Okay, asante sana. Unajua umezungumzia mambo ya watu ambao wanaugua, na juzi nilikuwa na mazungumzo na rafiki yangu fulani. Tukaangalia kwa upana sana, sana sana sekta ya afya. Tukasema kwamba kwa maoni yetu, wakati ambao tulikuwa tunazungumza, tukasema kwamba idara ya afya sana sana ya Kenya haitakuwa na mabadiliko sana, kwa sababu kuna vitu vingi ambazo sidhani kama hata serikali wanaweza kutatua. Kwanza tukizungumzia mambo ya SHA, unapata kwamba SHA iko na changamoto zake. Pili pia unapata kuwa hata madaktari enyewe wako na shida ya malipo. Ukienda katika hospitali pia unapata kwamba saa zingine unapata kwamba wale ambao wanaugua wanaweza wekwa wakilalia kitanda moja. Sasa unapata kwamba ukiangalia sekta ya afya ni kitu ambacho ni sekta ambayo bado inataka mtu ambaye ana uelewa zaidi. Tena jambo lingine pia ambapo inafanya sekta ya afya isifanye vizuri, kwa sababu utapata kwamba serikali wanasema kwamba watu wengi wamejiandikisha na SHA, lakini wanapata huduma bora kweli? Sasa hizo ndio maswali ambayo unapata, unajua vitu kama hizo. Ndio nasema ni bado ni changamoto kubwa sana kwa serikali hii, na hata serikali ambayo itakuja na serikali ambayo itakuja bado ni changamoto, inataka mapinduzi makubwa sana sana. Hebu unmute.
Brother Ben, unaona shida ya SHA hii ni shida ya viongozi. Unajua ukipatiwa mamlaka
Yeah.
katika sekta ya afya, bwana wewe kama bwana Eden Duale, yeye ndiye anasimamia hiyo sekta ya afya. Tumeangalia hata vitu mingi sana zile tunaweza sema serikali ifanye vizuri. SHA iko na shida. Ukiangalia pale Kenyatta Hospital kuna shida ya mashine za x-ray, mashine za kufanya chemotherapy ya radiology,
Yeah.
zote unapata zifanyi kazi.
Mhm.
Hata madawa
Mhm.
wagonjwa inabidi waende wanunue nje ya
Mhm.
hospitali,
Mhm.
na ilhali unaona viongozi wanatembea na vitita vya pesa
Mhm.
katika hizi marali zile wanakuwa
Mhm.
ni mamilioni ya pesa zinatumika katika hizo kuandaa hizo political rallies,
Yeah.
ilhali huduma
Mhm.
ya afya imezorota, eh, na Bwana Adan Duale na Rais William Ruto
Mhm.
hawafanyi chochote juu ya hiyo huduma ya afya. Unaona, wanasikimbilia hospitali kama Nairobi Hospital,
Mhm.
ilhali public health hospital kama Kenyatta National Hospital ile inafaa kusaidia wananchi wa kawaida
Mhm.
imezoroteka, na wanashika maboard of governors wale wa Nairobi Hospital na wanawacha wale wanasimamia hospitali kama Kenyatta National Hospital, kwa sababu
Mhm.
Kenyatta National Hospital iko na ufadhili
Mhm.
na iko na hela mingi sana ile
Yeah.
ina generate kila siku, na bado
Mhm.
kuna wale development partners wale wanaipatia msaada. Hizi
Yeah.
pesa zote zinaenda kwa mfuko za watu binafsi
Yeah, ya
na
watu
watu
binafsi.
wanazidi kufa pale
Mhm.
ya juu ya utendakazi. So Bwana Rais, ukiwa kabla uende rali ya kesho, pitia
Mhm.
pale Kenyatta Hospital kwa dharura, enda upige tu lap 2 3 pale Kenyatta, uangalie nini inaendelea. Hizo ni
Mhm.
kura zako,
Mhm.
uone na macho wewe mwenyewe, si ati unaambiwa. Sisi hapa kwa social media
Yeah.
tutazidi kuangazia mambo ambayo inafanyika.
Yeah, and that's why I was telling you in Kiswahili, when you look at the health sector or health department, despite everything that they will be doing, but I do not think that um, they will achieve or actualize uh, a system whereby every Kenyan would get satisfied. And what is bringing about this is Mzalendo. You know, when you take sector like health, then you want the government to control that health. You know, uh, it is not going to work. I think
No,
the best thing.
let me tell you, the health sector should be controlled by the government. They should be responsible for the health of the citizen of the people of Kenya.
Yes.
This health sector should not be in the hands of these corrupt governors that we see stealing money each and every day.
Mhm.
This function is one of those functions. It's like roads. Some roads belong to the county, some roads belong to the national government, some roads belongs to, I don't know, Kera. But the issue of health, the issue of schools, I think that is where we get it all wrong. That should go back to the national government, because the national. Let me tell you, brother Ben. For
Mhm.
example, where I come from, the area MCA wakes up one day, goes to an area, and says that I know you people deserve a school, and from today I have instructed, or I am going to ensure that you get a school here. The MPs are also doing the same. Now, do you know the problem with that?
Mhm.
The problem with that is that there's no proper research that has been done by the Ministry of Education to quantify that population needs a school in that area.
Yeah.
And the Ministry of Education, TSC, Teacher Service Commission, TSC, does not even have a budget for an extra school so that they can send teachers on that location or
Mhm,
locality. So it
mhm,
is a whole process. I remember there was a time I was a member of board in Shaurimoyo Primary School, and we started Shaurimoyo Girls School in Shaurimoyo, Nairobi. I was in that board. It was a tedious exercise. It is something that involved the ministry. It is something that the ministry injected funds, and now we had a survey done by the ministry and the need for that particular school, and we established that particular school in Shaurimoyo there, and it's
mhm,
a very very good girls secondary school. To date, I'm really proud of it, and the people we worked with tirelessly, and there was no politician involved in that. It was just the parents coming together and deciding that okay, we need a school. What is the procedure? The procedure is that we have to go to the ministry and tell them the intention that we need to establish this particular school. So the health sector is the same. The health sector, you can see in your rural area, most of those dispensaries, they don't even have a doctor. All they have is nurses. Even medicine is not even there. If you go to your local village there
mhm.
to look for even paracetamol, you'll not even find it
Fine.
in the hospital. Mm.
Mm,
So it is
okay.
sad. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Lendo. But it is something that we should keep on talking about, and to see how all
Mm.
these sectors, even when you look at education sector. The other day, I told you how we did a documentary on children living with a disability, and if you look at the budget that is being allocated, or um, you do not see, especially government putting more effort, even the county or the national government putting more effort on the children with disabilities or children with special needs. Even accessing those classes, it's kind of like a problem. So that is something that should be especially looked into, especially
Mm.
education and all that. It will take time, especially for um, the administration actually to actualize the education and to create um, um, some facilities for
Mm.
children with disability. They don't find space, accessibility of those infrastructures. They don't access those buildings. Even if you go to even to our home areas, the children with disability, or that those are using the wheelchair, some of them cannot access those classes on how they've been constructed. So those are some of the things, that the challenges that should be talked about. Hey, Joseph, habari gani?
Brother Benson,
Yes,
I hope you can hear me.
yes, I can hear you.
Yes, Jambo.
Jambo sana, umepotelea wapi?
Mi niko tu kutulia tu kidogo kidogo.
Yeah.
The situation here, okay, that's why sometimes
All
I'm not safe. Yeah,
all
but
right.
all is well.
Okay.
We are trying to cope. We are trying to cope pole pole.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Joseph, for joining. I'm here with our elder brother here, Mzalendo. And we want to do a recap of what happened during the week. And I believe we will try to be as brief as possible, so that we can capture what we are going to talk about. And I will start with you, Mzalendo. Mzalendo, we've seen a new movement or a new wave, especially with the young people, Nico Kadi, whereby the young people have decided to visit the IBC offices, and they are registering to have their election card, or to register as voters. And this one has created kind of like panic, especially among the political class, because you remember well what Gen Z did with the Maandamano. They were able to access the parliament. they were able to put some demands on President William Ruto, and President William Ruto dissolve his government, and and still appointed. But that alone, it was a history. Now they've come up with Nico Kadi. Maybe on your view from where you sit, how do you see the Nico Kadi? Do you see it as a threat to the political class, or it is just a wave that will die soon?
Thank you, and I want to say hi to my brother Jose up there. A long time. We've not seen each other for a minute. Nico Kadi is a very good youth initiative. I can say it is very dangerous. The movement is very dangerous, not in a negative point of view or a negative sense that you might think when I'm saying it is dangerous, but it is dangerous to the old order, the old political order that
Yeah.
are used to doing things in a different way. Why?
Mhm.
Because for the longest time, the system of voting has been very, very predictable,
Yeah.
where the MP or your leader comes to mobilize or gives you, they're called what, voters cards or IDs to vote. But
Mm.
these are youths who are mobilizing themselves without any political initiative,
Mm.
but amongst themselves. So that is why it is very, very dangerous to the old political order. The old political order is not used to technology, it is not used to this kind of mobilization.
Mm.
So that kind of mobilization triggers what we call voter turnout. So the
Mm.
voter turnout among the youth will be very, very high. And I keep on predicting that by the time we reach 2027,
Mm.
this generation that is below 35
Mm.
will be about 15 million. And I can tell you 10 million of them will be registered as voters,
Yeah.
and the 10 million who will be registered as voters are likely not to vote for the government of the day,
Mhm.
and for one reason, they are not used to traditional way of thinking of our political class.
Yeah.
So their structure of thinking is
Yeah.
so different from the older generation. So they
Mhm.
are more informed, they are more connected in the social space,
Mm.
and that is why they are very, very dangerous. And that is why each and every time you are seeing in all these political movements,
Yeah.
whether it is Wiper, whether it is DCP, whether it is UDA, they are trying ODM, they're trying very much to bring in the young people. You see,
Mm.
before Baba died, he brought in this young guy called Kasamuel.
Mhm.
The reason why they are bringing young people is because this older generation, first of all, they are not savvy. And secondly, you will not find them in TikTok. You will not find them in Facebook, or a few of them, or in YouTube. They don't know these social ways of communicating. They
Yeah.
know the traditional method of communicating ni kuone macho kwa mocho, tukuje kwa rali, ama nipige simu tuongee
Kwa simu.
tuongee kwa simu. So that is a challenge to them, and
Mm.
that is the reason why the young people
Mhm.
are dangerous when we are going to 2027. And
Abs
Nico Kadi, you have seen many times when it was started, immediately the government hijacked it and said, "Yeah, okay, this is what we are also going to run with.
Mhm.
Ukokadi. So to create that kind of confusion. But
Yeah.
there is a momentum building among the young people that people are not seeing.
Mhm.
If you are detailed in the politics, you will see it. There is a new song called Siaka. I know most of you have not even seen it. If you
Mhm.
are new in politics, You might, if you are old, if you are new in politics, you might not have noticed that song. You might just think that it's just another song. You might think that the preaching in the streets is just another preaching going on, but it is a revolution that is coming slowly by slow. It's building momentum. What you saw, like yesterday at Mfangano, you saw that, you saw the age group. Look at the age group that was there. Apart from, I think Orengo was the oldest in that group. That age group is what is bringing change. That is now the real opposition in Kenya. That age group is now the real opposition in Kenya. If you listen to Winnie's speech on the other side, people are talking about the young people. They need space, and if they don't get that space, they will demand for it. They will go in the streets for it.
Okay.
So that is my observation. Thank you.
Okay, Joseph, I know you've come across the Nico Kadi, especially by young people, and this movement especially was started by Ademba. You remember Ademba was one of the journalists who also was featured in the documentary of the parliament, after the death of Gen Z. Ademba was, and it is like it's gaining momentum. And there are politicians or analysts who tend to believe that this is a movement that is a threat to them politically, especially when you look at their relationship with President William Ruto, especially the Gen Z, and with other politicians. Maybe from where you sit, do you see the Nico Kadi initiative or Nico Kadi movement is going to create an impact, especially in election that is coming in 2027?
Thank you, Brother Benson. And I want to start off by, I had Msimamo talking about health as I answered the Gen Z one. Msimamo talked about health, but for me, my thinking is very different from what Msimamo was saying about health sector being a national government. Should be returned to the national government. But for me, I don't think it should, because we have seen health working in some of the counties. And some of the counties you have seen, they have tried their best to be able even to pay the doctors, the nurses, and some of them even they have been able to build hospitals, and some of them have been able to equip their hospitals. Some even have healthcare system of their counties. For example, key example is Murang'a. Murang'a has even the Kang'ata care, which always helps its Murang'a County citizens to be able to get free, to be able to get healthcare and medical cover, which is quite. They were saying even it is even better than the SHA, the Murang'a care, the Kang'ata care. So these are things that are happening. I think the problem is we need to ask ourselves: is it about the healthcare which is not working, or the people who have been given this mandate? The people who have been given this mandate are the ones who are not able to utilize them, or is it the healthcare? Is it about the returning it to the so-called national government? For me, I think it is the people we have given the mandate to be able to work. They have failed, not about the national government. They have really failed. So me going because they are being given billions of money. Money is just added every time we hear money is added to the county. So they are not supposed to be giving us any excuse. Okay, let me go to the issue of Gen Z. The issue of Gen Z was going to come. It is something that had laid down. It's like the way they said it was a sleeping lion, but now it has woken up. It was going to come and bite them. I will not use that word, but it was going to come and bite them. Because these guys, they never forgot what happened to them in 2024. They never forgot. And they said that they are going to just keep quiet like that. But when it comes the time, they are really going to show this political class and this all the government, because it was the political class and the government. Because why I say the political class, the parliament itself. Why did the Gen Z go to demonstrate? They went to demonstrate because parliament was passing a bill to be able to add taxes on citizens. So what is parliament? Parliament is the political class in the legislative. Then they also went to the streets to demonstrate against the executive opulence by some of the ministers and cabinet secretary. And you yourself, you have said some of them were sacked. So that one is the another political class which was in the executive. And even the Gen Z, if you did not note, they went even for the judiciary. Did you know that, Brother Benson? They went even for the judiciary. And they showed that all the systems in Kenya have been intertwined. The judiciary, the legislature, and the executive. All of them, it showed like they are working in the same direction, and which is not supposed to be. That's why you have seen collusion of all the sorts of public resources being stolen and everything, but there is nothing which is done, because they also the place that's supposed to give you justice as citizens is bad with the executive. So this was going to come. They have decided they want to vote. They want to come out, and it has changed the dynamic for the political class. You know, the political class like to use the so-called. They like to use tribalism, which is going to be very difficult for them this time round. I think the narrative itself in this time is going to be a very different one. But for them, they were to come out. It is not a shocker to me. They were to come out, and they were to take. Somebody asked me, why is the Gen Z not coming out? They are not taking they are not taking the voters card. I told them, you just wait. They'll just come out. Now I think he has doubt. He has the doubt in himself. The person who was asking me that, it has been cleared, and I'm very happy. Let them continue with these initiatives, and let the other politicians who are trying to capitalize on this stop these shenanigans they want to do. This is a Gen Z initiative. Let them do their initiative. They should come up with another one. Why can't they not come up with their slogan? They can say kura kura ni yetu, or they can say tuchukueni kura, chukua kura, or something. Let them stop the this is a Gen Z one. Let them stop harassing these young kids. They have harassed them in 2024. They have harassed them in 2025. Let them give them space to breathe even. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Joseph. And maybe my last question to both of you, I would start with Mzalendo. Mzalendo, when you look at the relationship between the president and the Gen Z, despite president coming up with various activities, especially even providing employment, the Nyota Fund, and and even empowerment, how many empowerment that president has done, including his administration. But you still find that this generation and their population, they are not listening, or they're not kind of like having that friendship with the president. Like the line is drawn. There's a line is drawn. Do you think this one should worry the president?
Thank you, Brother Ben. What I can say about the situation of William Ruto is that is indeed a president at the wrong time in our history. Is a president at the wrong time. Why do I say this? If Ruto could have initiated all these projects, if he came at the time of Mwai Kibaki, and probably what is ailing his government, things like corruption, he should have stemmed corruption and initiated all these projects that is initiating. then I want to give him a thumbs up for the projects that he has initiated within a short span of time.
Yeah.
There's no president in the history of our republic who has initiated such projects, massive projects within a short time. And also his interaction with nearly each and every part of the country. But now the biggest problem is, how did he interact with the demonstration? Ruto's problem started with the demonstration of the Gen Zs. So that killing really dented his image as a
Yeah.
president, and there was no way he was going to get out of it.
Mhm.
Now, when he had the opportunity to mend fences with the Gen Z, he again spoiled it by inviting the old guards, and he's continuing with the same old script of using the politicians of yesterday, Kabogos and everybody else, to try and, stamp his authority. Now, things are changing drastically in politics. You cannot politic the way you used to politic in the 90s. You cannot copy Moi's style of politics and see and get some results in the year 2026. So that is a problem. So in 2026, it needs a more conversant politician and a more grounded politicians with the issues that are affecting these young people. These are young people who know that when you give them 1,000 shillings, that is money that is coming from our taxes. These are young people who know that the president is supposed to give them opportunities. These are young people who know that. Um, let me stop there for a minute. I need to pick another call here.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Mzalendo. We will be waiting for you. As Mzalendo, let me take this also opportunity to say hi to Paulo. Paulo, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We are having a recap of what happened during the week, and we started by discussing about the Nico Kadi initiative or Nico Kadi movement, how threat it is to the political class, especially with the administration of President William Ruto currently. Joseph, I was just asking about the relationship between the Gen Z with the president, despite the president, the way Mzalendo is saying that president initiating so many projects and even coming with the Nyota Fund, trying to bring them, like to show them that he's working, but still you find that they're not fully convinced with the president. How can the president overcome this?
Thank you, Brother Benson. I think the president can never overcome this. You know why? The first problem is not about even project, as Mzalendo is putting. This is not all about project and Nyota Fund. This is about the president killing Gen Z in 2024. And if you hear them in their circles, when the president says that he wants to talk to the Gen Z, what do the Gen Z tell him? They tell him, we want you to talk to the likes of Akina Lex Masai. We don't have time to talk to you. If you want to know that somebody is done and dusted with you, just listen to those comments. If somebody can tell you, just go and talk to the dead, it means we got no time to talk with you, and we got no time to even have any negotiations with you. So I think that is where Ruto lost it all in terms of the Gen Z. And instead of him trying to be the father of the nation and trying to bring them together, because he tried to go to the social platforms, but the problem is he was told by the Gen Z, the points that the Gen Z gave him, did he fully utilize them? That is the question that we need to ask ourselves. He was given points of, he was supposed to sack all the CSs and remove them, and no one was supposed to come back. But how many people were removed in that cabinet? And how many people are brought back? He went, instead of him going and strategizing and knowing what the Gen Z wanted. He could even have sacked those ministers and told the Gen Z, now come, we have a talk. We know now how we are going to arrange this. But himself, instead of himself, he started picking the political class.
Yeah.
So the idea of him being able to come and talk to the Gen Z, it died long time ago after he was given those conditions, and therefore after even the parliament. You know why the parliament people are finding a hard time with the Gen Z? Because themselves, they went ahead and voted for a bill when they were told not to vote. That bill was in its second reading. Its first reading, they had refused. The second reading, when it was going to the third reading, they voted for it using their force. So the Gen Z can never forgive what was done in 2024. And also the repeat came in 2025. They can never forgive that. So the issue about Gen Z and Ruto is not resolvable because he cannot bring those people he killed in 2024. So what can happen? The Gen Z are going to try themselves how they are going to remove Ruto into power. And that's why you see all these initiatives of Nico Kadi and everything.
But do you think the Gen Z, Mzalenda, are you back? Joseph, do you see or do you feel that the Gen Z will transcend the Rubicon of tribalism and vote issues? Because that is also something that has always been with us, especially in our politics.
Brother Benson, there is a first for everything. In 2002, nobody thought that the communities are going to come together and be able to stop a presidentship which had gone for 24 years of Moi. But that really happened. And the communities came together. I think that was a landslide of an election, because that one is the first one we have seen that the second opponent was beaten hands down. So there is a first time for everything. And I think this is a first time for them. They are new voters, Brother Benson. They are not the same like us, as you have been voting with the same rhetoric of tribalism. I think they can be able to cure that and remedy that. And if they are going to go past this without their tribalism, I'm telling you, Kenya now will change. If they are going to go at it in this election without the tribalism first, I'm telling you, Kenya will change for the better. And they can. I can assure you, there's a first time for everything.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Zalenda, you back or you're still occupied?
No, I'm back. I've just finished. I was on another call. There is a serious Kenyan candidate who is running to be a representative in one of the states in the US. So
okay.
So we are on call, making sure that we support one of our own. One of these fine days, I'll bring him here so that the Kenyan in the diaspora community can support Nick. Nick is running for a state representative in Seattle. So yeah.
Yeah, just bring him home so we can have conversation and Mzalindo, just on I want to get your last comment or your last view, especially on the Gen Z. You spoke about how government is going to maybe hijack the narrative of Nico Kadi. And if you look in the history, this one has always been the way the politicians would always hijack those that are trending. Remember when we had the Kufa Kama Men, that song during the Gen Z protest, the song that was composed and the song was trending in the event, the government or the politician took advantage of it, and they would play it and even dance those dances, and that's how maybe it was lost. We saw Siswa Tupangwingi with President William Ruto too during his campaign. So you will talk about hijacking of these slogans, especially from the young people, and how will young people also make sure that the they don't fall into trap. Another thing also I want you to mention that I had asked Joseph also earlier about the Gen Z. Do you see them transcending the Rubicon of tribalism so that when they go to vote, they are just going to vote issues? Tribal is not going to be one of those in their list while voting.
Uh, now, Ben, there are two types of Gen Zs here.
Mm-hmm.
There are Gen Zs. Okay, the overview is this. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Gen Zs come from a tribe.
Mm-hmm.
Their parents are, I want to assume, they are tribalist, majority of them. They vote as per the tribe or the direction the tribe is taking. Our politics is derived from tribalism being at the center of our political thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Now, who are these Gen Zs? Gen Zs are bringing a fresh breath in our politics and saying that let us interact on issues.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are Gen Zs who have refused to interact on issues. They are following the political class that is driven by tribalism, yeah, or political narratives. So that is where there is a difference. Now, statistically, I would say that majority of the Gen Zs want change. Majority of the Gen Zs want change. A minority of them belong to the status quo. They are either in ODM or they are in UDA or they are in DCP or they are in Wiper.
Yeah.
So the ones that really want change, they don't see any leadership quality in William Ruto. They don't see any leadership quality in Kalonzo Musyoka. They don't see any leadership quality in Rigathi Gachagua.
Yeah.
They see these are politicians who have been using them
Mm-hmm.
for a very long time. Even if they try to, to be part of them, they will not fit in the metrics of Gen Zs.
Yeah.
So that is where we are with this group called Gen Zs. Now, are they going to change the political narrative of the country? Yes and no at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
because tribalism will still be with us. There are
Mm-hmm.
still leaders who are tribally inclined. There are still leaders who still talk like hii mlima ni yetu, hii Nyanza ni kura ya Wajaluo, hii kura ya Kisii ni kura ya Matiangi, hii kura ya Nyanza ni kura ya Oburu, hii kura ya Kalenjin ni kura ya William Samoei Ruto. You
Mm-hmm.
see, so
Mm-hmm.
breaking that will take time. But what they can manage is to ensure that many of them go for elective positions in parliament, being MCA up to the Senate and even the presidency. Let them go for elective positions,
Yeah.
because flipping these seats like the ones in cosmopolitan areas is
It's
very, very easy.
yeah.
It's very, very, very easy. Now, the Gen Z, majority of them have gone through a school process. Others are in employment, and they know how to read the Constitution of Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
They are not people who are going to be swayed by political rhetorics.
Yeah.
All right. You
Mm-hmm.
have to articulate your issues properly so that you can convince them. to vote for you. So this is the group that the political class today cannot convince.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Mzalendo, for that. Okay. Let's go to another topic that really trended in the country. And this was the interview that was done between one of the media stations and TV stations and radio between and Rigathi Gachagua. There was this um, between Rigathi Gachagua and Trevor Ombija on Ramogi. And the discussion went online, and people felt that Trevor Ombija was very biased to Rigathi Gachagua. And those who are aligned to Rigathi Gachagua felt the same. And those who are not of Rigathi Gachagua school of thought of politics also felt that Trevor did a very wonderful job, especially on cornering Rigathi Gachagua to ask us to deliver some questions. Especially Trevor did ask about the tribal and so maybe from you, Mzalenda, I would start with you. From where you sit, if you are to rate the interview that took place between Rigathi Gachagua and Trevor Ombija, what would you say?
I think I even wrote an article about this interview. Brother Ben, let me first say that those who are not journalists, those were people who are on a mission, and I called them the ODM journalists in Ramogi. Yeah. So the ODM journalists in Ramogi presented themselves on a debate to pin down Rigathi Gachagua. And Rigathi Gachagua being Rigathi Gachagua is good on the debate stage. You cannot easily pin him down. Now, we were yearning to see what the opposition is offering the people of Kenya. But they made that interview about Rigathi's character other than what he is supposed to offer as a political leader. And I think remember Trevor is running for a parliamentary seat in Nyakach. And the other gentleman maybe is also eyeing for a seat. So they were playing to the gallery. They were playing to their masters, hoping that they will get a free ticket on ODM in those areas that they are running. So that's how I looked at it. I found Trevor Ombija, a very respected journalist, being very trivial and did not actually get substance from Rigathi Gachagua. So in that kind of interview, and you could see from the setup, two journalists from Ramogi. Why were there even two journalists from Ramogi in the first place? We should have only had one journalist. So it means that they really wanted to pin Rigathi Gachagua. And I say this carefully because media plays a very important role, especially in democracy and giving out civic education to our people. But an interview like that, I feel they were trying to persecute Rigathi Gachagua rather than having a conversation with him. So it should have been a conversation other than just, confrontation.
Okay, now before I bring in Joseph, there's something that you've said about one of the journalists is aspiring to become a member of parliament and with a ticket that is usually not going to support Rigathi Gachagua. Do you think some of the questions that were being asked, bearing in mind that the political narrative that has always been between Rigathi Gachagua and how he viewed the the Raila Amolo Odinga, or how he viewed the Luo community, really played a part, or what do you think?
As you know, the Luo community and the Kikuyu community, these are antagonistic tribes.
Mhm,
I feel like one of these fine days, they should just find a country of their own. They
mhm,
live together, this Kikuyu community and the Luo community. Uh,
mhm.
because sincerely, if you look at it deeply,
Yeah.
the issues that why the Luo community hate the Kikuyu so much. And they want every other. If my child is born today, he will inherit the sins of his father,
Mhm,
yeah, or a grandfather. So I mean, if Jaramogi did something wrong to the Kikuyus, then let me apologize on behalf of my community and tell them we are sorry for whatever Jaramogi had done, but we are a completely new generation of Luos who think differently. My child does not even think or does not even look at himself like a Luo. He
yeah.
looks at himself like a Kenyan. Yeah,
Mhm,
he looks at himself like a Kenyan. He doesn't look at himself like a tribe. Yeah, but each and every other time, we are drawn to think, to have a communal kind of thinking.
mhm,
That if the Luos are against Kikuyus, then if one Luo is against Kikuyu, who is a leader, then all of us should be against the Kikuyu community. Now, the Kikuyus are not going anywhere, neither are the Luos going anywhere. They will still be part of and parcel of this country. But how do we find a middle ground and to see that people can work together? Uh, what we see in Babu Owino is leadership. You find a middle ground and see whether you can work with people like Rigathi Gachagua. Yeah. You intermarry, marry people from the Kikuyu community and the Kikuyu community vice versa. Although there are very few Kikuyus who are marrying Luos, very few Kikuyu men like Joseph who are marrying Luo ladies. They are not there. They are not marrying Luo ladies, but there are many Luo men who are marrying Kikuyu women. So with the time, maybe hii kasumba ya tribalism itaisha, but shida ya Mjaluo na Mkikuyu are just historical, and we are forced to inherit them. We are
mhm.
forced to inherit them, although we were not even part of them. We are not even part of them in the first place. I don't agree with any other politician who is perpetrating that the Kikuyus are bad for politics, or any other Luo or any other Kikuyus who is saying that the Luos, we cannot work with the Luos because of ABCD. Unakumbuka sijui nini ya Kenyatta. I don't know, all that kind of nonsense that they say all the time. I don't want to be part of that cabal.
All
Mm.
right. Okay, Joseph. Think I don't know whether you had an opportunity, especially to watch or listen to the conversation that took place between the interview that we are speaking about. This was between the Trevor Ombija and Rigathi Gachagua on Ramogi FM and Ramogi TV, where various reaction were given out by members of the public. Maybe if you did do you think, especially that the they achieved what they wanted, both sides, what Rigathi Gachagua had to speak to the Luo community or the Ramogi community to tell them how his political views and his thoughts, and answer those questions, and even the journalists, they get what they want, the substance of that conversation, if you had an opportunity to?
Thank you. I think Mzalendo has touched me so much there. And he has said that people like Joseph don't marry Luo, but let me tell him that I've not married a Kikuyu neither. So let me tell him I've married a Meru, and actually, if I could get another second wife, I could marry a Luo. But now the problem is our Christian values don't allow us to have two wives. If I was a Muslim, I think I could have a Luo as a second wife.
Which Christian value are you talking about? Solomon had how many wives?
But now, as we are dealing, can your wife allow you to have another wife? You know, that is the question now. You need to talk to your wife and
hear
hear
about
you.
her allowing you. It's not about her allowing you to have another wife. It is you bringing another wife home.
The issue, I don't want to die very young with pressure. So let me tell Mzalendo that one thing I've done, I'm a new kind of Kikuyu. You know, people will always see your last name and say you are tribal. You have the same blood of Kikuyu within you. But let me tell you, even my kids, I've never taught them Kikuyu. They want to learn, but I've never. Because it's good for the culture, but the problem is the way we continue with these kids learning these things from down there, it continues, and this cycle continues and continues. And it's a very tiresome cycle, which I want even myself to break it. I think if there is something that Kikuyus have done towards Luo, which is very wrong, I want to categorically here say we are sorry. Because me, I was not there in the 1960, Brother Benson.
Yeah.
Actually, even in Moi's time, I came when Moi was about to his last term in office. So I don't know why do I have to bear the all the burdens that were done by the so-called Kenyatas, the Jaramogi, and the other tribal people who are there, the Kamodhos and everything. I don't have to bear that brand, because me myself, I need to change the kind. You changed a new constitution. Why can we not change other things like tribalism in our country? If we can be able to change the new constitution from the old one, which was very bad, why can we not be able to change our values as people of Kenya and know we are Kenyans?
Jose, mimi naenda kusimama na DCP Luo Nyanza. Naenda kusimama na DCP. That is
Okay.
Look at that conviction. Hiyo naenda kusimama na party ya Rigathi Gachagua. Na Rigathi Gachagua nipatie ticket. Na Wajaluo tupelekane, mimi pia ni Mjaluo. Naenda kusimama na hiyo DCP kule kule. Na ndashinda.
Yeah, and we are going to campaign for you, Mzalendo. But actually the issue is, I wanted to go to the Rigathi interview. I'm not a supporter of Rigathi, Brother Benson. I am not. Categorically, I will tell you here. Never tell me that I'm a supporter of Rigathi Gachagua, because I'm not. I will never vote for him in any seat. Actually, categorically, I will state it here. But let us be honest. Trevor Obinja came with. He came in that interview with certain aspects within him that showed that he was very biased. Because let's take a look at why was that meeting called for, the Lamogi one? Why had Rigathi, because they said Rigathi was the one who had asked for that interview. Why was it called for? It was not called for so that they can be able to come and ask about the tribalism part. It was called for so that they can be able to come and ask, what are the leaders in the Luo Nyanza doing to their citizens? Because Ramogi, initially it's a radio station coming. I think we have, and all these radio stations, I think that is even where we are having a problem. We have had all these radio stations which are making us tribal, because we have a radio station for Kikuyu, Kalenjin want theirs, Coast they want theirs. It's making us have. They are fake. They are what do we call? They are ingredients for us having tribalism in the country. So I think I never trust journalists, because one thing, even though I am not a supporter of Rigathi Gachagua, hapa nitamtetea kidogo, because I have seen journalists who are very strong journalists, but the moment they enter into power or they enter into the other side of the government, they become very useless. And we have seen certain, you have seen them, Brother Benson. No need for me to state their names here. We have seen the journalists happen. So I think this celebrityism of journalists trying to go for these seats, it's becoming a nightmare. And even in my community, we have one who is very, she's very, because she's a she. And I know you know the one, I know you thinking you know the one I'm saying, but it's not the one. There is another one. They are very, I don't know what I'll say. They are very shameful. You know, when you think that because you're in a you are a radio presenter, that you are this all knowing, you can be able to know what the citizens want because you are there, and you can tell what the citizens in that community need or what they are supposed to do. And let me tell you, Trevor Obinja can be his son. I really love the guy, by the way. I really love the guy. He's very eloquent. But if he was doing that for a bidding of somebody, it is very unfortunate. But also, Rigathi Gachagua was asked questions that he himself was not being able to answer very quickly and very efficiently. So, but the main issue, you know, people have really changed, Brother Benson. You know, I had one guy from Jacaranda yesterday. Well, not Jacaranda. I think he was from this one from what do we call this one in Nairobi University? There is a city which is always done. Jivanji. Yeah, there is one guy who was saying in Jivanji that there is a lady who wrote a message to Trevor Obinja and asked Rigathi Gachagua. And asked Trevor Obinja why they had to invite Rigathi Gachagua, the tribal guy, into an interview in Ramogi. You know, that guy really categorically stated that you cannot be able to say that Ramogi is Luo, you know, is not a Luo TV because the owner is a Kikuyu. So what are you trying to say? It's like Rigathi being welcome to a Kikuyu radio station, TV and radio station. So I think people in time, they are coming to have this civic education, and they can be able to articulate issues very well. And this guy, if you see him, he's just an ordinary man. He is answering that. And I'm very happy that even if not now, Brother Benson, even if not now, I'm telling you, Kenya is going to change. This type of thing we always see. I'm very certain within my bones and my everything that we are going to change. And if we are going to change, we need to become the change that is supposed to be there. Let us not come here and start talking about tribalism, Brother Benson, and ask yourself, we are not fixing it. So about the Rigathi Gachagua interview was neither here nor there, because even itself, yesterday he also had an interview with Mwafrik, the Mwafrik and another lady from Alpha. Mm-hmm. I think the only suggestion I'll say, myself, I will take it as from Gen Z. I want to support those young people. For these political elites who have been there, they are making me tired, Brother Benson, because there is nothing new they come to give us. There is nothing they give us new. They always give us the old rhetorics of we are fighting. You see, even last week themselves, I don't know if you are going to give us that as a topic. They were fighting themselves. They are abusing each other in tops of cars and in churches. Imagine even a leader in a church will give somebody a mic to be able to give somebody opportunity to be able to abuse the other one. Yeah. And now even a president who is a symbol of national unity will stand in a car and abuse another person. It's very bad. It's very bad. And that's why I'm saying I need to give these young people an opportunity to be able to help us in leading this nation. I think these people who are in the millennials and above there, they have shown that they cannot be able to lead this country, Brother Benson. And you can see it even in parliament. The debates that are always in parliament, they are childish. Like, you cannot even sit down and, you know, I look at the debate which was being held in 2007 to 2012, and you could see the debates that were held in that house, August House. They were serious debates, Brother Benson. You could even sit down and listen to those debates. But right now, can you sit down even 1 hour to hear debates in the parliament? It's very shameful. I think we only need to give these young people a chance to be able to liberate this country. We have failed. Also have failed, included, have failed in all kinds of aspects.
Okay, thank you.
Also, Mzalendo has failed. Okay. I'll say just that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I can also see our brother Musimamo is with us. Yeah. Okay, we've just concluded with the about the interview. Now, today we know, yesterday we had twin rallies that was taking place in Nairobi. That is ODM. We have SDC which was taking place as Jamhuri Showground, and we also had NDC, People's NDC, which took place at Ufungamano House. And quite a number of issues came up, and quite a number of political telltale that also came up. Let me start with msimamo, because you are the last person now to get him. Msimamo, labda kwa maoni yako, ni jambo tu ambalo bado tunadadavua. Ukiangalia jana tulikuwa na makongamano mawili za chama za ODM. Labda jambo gani labda wewe unaweza sema kwamba pale ulilichukua ukasema kwamba ili jambo mzuri, ukiangalia hizo mrengo miwili tofauti za ODM?
Asante ndugu yangu Ben, msalimia ndugu yangu mzalendo na kaka yangu hapa ambapo ni Joseph. Najua ilipitisha macho huku kidogo, nikaona kumbe mambo huko yameanza muda mrefu na wala hujaniambia jamaangu. Hujanitendea haki Benson bwana.
Pole sana.
Ingawaje sawa, hatujakuwa na ambapo lakiwa chanti yangu mawili, alafu ndo tuende tutimka angalau tuone kama siku takuwaje. Ndivyo jioni tukija hapa sasa, una uhuru wa kukaa hapa kudadavua yalivyo ikiwa kwa kamili una mbavu. Lakini sasa hivi ni kupita pita tu. Kwa kweli kuna mambo mawili matatu ambayo nimechukua haswa katika mirengo yote miwili. Mrengo wa kwanza ule ambao ulikuwa na Gladys Wanga na wale wengine, nilitaka kuona haswa kwanza lengo lao haswa ni lipi, na lengo haswa ambalo ni kusudio lao ni lipi, hususa katika ODM, haswa mustakabali wa ODM na wameamua nini. So ni shairi dhahiri kwamba mrengo wa Uburu huo, hata tufanye nini, piga huo utabaki haswa kwa broad based government, kwa sababu huko ndo kwenye mbavu. Kwa sababu juzi kati tuliona wakifanya mikutano state, alafu pia unakuta kwamba wao washamua. Sasa kikubwa hapa kinachomchanganya ni matarajio na mapendekezo ya viongozi, ndo wameamua kubaki hapa. Je, ni maamuzi ya mwananchi ama ni maamuzi ya viongozi? Na vipi mustakabali wa ODM ambao ulisimama haswa kama mtetezi wa hili taifa, au viongozi wamekuja kuona kwamba jamii sasa ya Luo Nyanza na jamii ile ambao watafungamana na broad based government, hata kama ni nje ya Luo Nyanza, kwamba wao wanaumizwa na power na madaraka, lakini hawaumizwi na kile ambacho kinaendelea katika hili taifa, hususan ufujaji wa mali, usalama na kadhalika. So kiukweli wao wapo kwa ajili ya power, kulipiza kisasi, kwamba we will no longer be part of opposition. Nafikiri hiyo ndio stand. But ukirudi katika uhalisia wa ODM, unabaki katika mrengo wa Sifuna na wale wengine, kwa sababu wanazungumza haswa kile ambacho haswa ndio msingi ambao baba yetu ameweza kutuachia katika chama, kwamba chama ni chama, kiwe ni chama ambacho kina mvuto, ni chama ambacho kinasimama na mwananchi. Na kiukweli ukitazama haswa haya maneno wanayoyazungumza upande huu, despite ndio kuna siasa ndani, lakini bado wamesimama haswa na mwananchi. Lakini ni unajua, mwenye mbavu na mpishe, kule nako kuna nguvu imepatikana upande wa pili kutoka kwa state. So hapa ndo kwenye kizungumkuti, lakini uhalisia basi utabaki haswa kwa upande huu wa kina Sifuna, ndo kwenye ODM. Lakini pia tuangalie mustakabali pia wa siasa. Unakuta ile chama haswa Nairobi kitakuwaje, kwa sababu ukiangalia kama wale viongozi ambao wako kule hawana uwezo wa kuweza kupua ile crowd ambao iko haswa katika jiji kuu la Nairobi, kuliko na wao viongozi wachache ambao wako upande huu, yani namaanisha Sifuna, Babu Owino na wale wengine, kuweza kupua haswa ile Nairobi kisawasawa, unaona. So for real hapo ndo kuna kizungumkuti. Unaona kwamba Winnie naye pia anaona kwamba pia Winnie japo ndio ameenda kule, lakini roho shingo pande, kiguu ndani nje. Yani ameenda kule kwa kushawishiwa, lakini moyo wake haupo kabisa. Moyo wake uko kwa ODM ambayo itaweza kumjali kila mtu na kumsikiza kila mtu, lakini pia vile vile ODM ambayo itakuwa ni mpya ya kuweza kumpa nafasi kijana haswa kufua katika meza ya maamuzi na pia kuwa haswa katika uongozi. So unakuta kwamba Winnie pale, yani kwa kweli despite watu wanasema yuko kwa Linda Mwananchi, but mawazo yake yanafungamana na wale Linda Mwananchi. Kwa hivyo huyu nafsi iko kwa Linda Mwananchi, lakini sasa ni ile basi tu kwamba yuko pande huu wa Linda ground. So kwa kweli nikimalizia ni kwamba ODM kwa sasa hivi ni kwa pande mbili, ila hatuwezi kukataa. So tuone. La mwisho kabisa, wasiwasi wangu ni kwamba kama vile ambavyo ule Carol Omondi alizungumza kwamba, maana yeye aliweka bombshell na ni maneno ambayo alikuwa anachukulia umuhimu zaidi kutokana na jinsi ambavyo alikuwa anayaweka, yanaonyesha uhalisia fulani. Shida ni kwamba kama pengine wataweza kutoka na mrengo wa tatu na kudemand kwamba watasimamisha mgombezi, alafu opposition wasimame mgombezi, alafu nani nao UDA na plus broad based government na ODM ile nyingine wasimamishe mgombezi, already hapa tutakuwa tumeweza kugawa kura hizi. So my views ama maombi yangu ni kuona kwamba vile ambavyo walisema watafanya kazi kwa Azimio na hawataondoka kwa Azimio, basi warudi kule kule wasimamishe mgombezi tu mmoja ambaye ataweza kuface hii timu nyingine ambayo ni ya ODM na UDA ikifika 2027 na kuhakikisha kwamba haswa nguvu ile inapatikana haswa kikamilifu, kuliko kwamba hawa wasimamishe wao na hao wasimamishe wao, lakini wote wanasema wanapinga. So kama wanapinga, basi watengeneze kwamba waungane haswa, alafu tuone, kwa sababu uhalisia wa ODM origin ndio hii yao, kwa sababu hii nyingine it's like kwamba imetengenezwa tu, kwa sababu hata Uhuru mwenyewe hakuwa na nafasi ya kuweza hakuwa anaelewa kwamba atateuliwa, so kwa sababu ilikuwa hafla mno. Kwa ukiangalia Carol jinsi alivyoweka na baadhi ya viongozi ndio ametutumbulia jiji kwa jinsi ambavyo haya mambo alipeleka haraka haraka, kutokana kwamba ni kana kwamba hakuna jambo ambalo lilikuwa linaendelea haswa chini ya maji, kwa kwamba ODM itakuwa imeweza kuzama ndani kabisa na kuleta haswa ule muhemko wa kusaidia upande huu wa pili. Kwa hivyo mimi tu ndio ufunguzi wangu. Asante.
Okay, asante sana kakangu kwa maoni hayo. Mzalendo, I want to know your view, especially when you come to the SDC. There are quite a number of incidents that I really picked that were telling in politics. The presence of Ababu Namwamba, the dropping of Otsoti as the party leader, and also not to mention anything about the position of the SG and the speech of Winnie. What do you make of those 4 instances that I've mentioned, those 4 tires that I've mentioned?
Brother Man, thank you very much, and greetings to msimamo na kusalimia. Nadhani uko salama, inaitwa ubuheri wa afya. Swahili sanifu.
Niko buheri wa afya ndugu yangu Mzalendo, pia pokea zangu, maana ni muda mrefu na wewe ni jamaa wangu ambavuni kwa muda mrefu, zaidi ya miaka 4 sasa tukijadili mara. So wewe
bado tuko hapa tu, unajua mara mingi unakuwa pande ile nyingine, mimi niko pande nyingine, lakini kila wakati,
lakini mwisho wa siku wote tunabaki ni wananchi, sio?
Mwisho wa siku tunabaki tu ni wale wananchi wa kawaida, wale wa kuambia watu siasa tunaiona hivi na tunaielekea hivi, tunaiona ikielekea pande hii.
Basi kama ni wananchi, basi inabidi tubaki katika fungu letu la mwananchi sasa hapo, maana ndipo kwetu.
Kazi yetu ni kuelimisha wananchi, na tutawapatia hiyo elimu so long as bado tuko na mtandao, tutazidi kuwapatia hiyo mawaidha na vile tunaona siasa ikielekea, na watu wengi sana wamepata mafunzo kutoka kwa yale unasema msimamo, na kwa yale kina Joseph wanasema, hata brother Ben hapa, na wengi wale wanakuja kwa mtandao kutoa maoni yao. Watu wamepata elimu ya busara sana katika hii ulingo wa siasa. Brother Ben, wacha ni swali lako, wacha ni kwanza nianze na ESD, inaitwaje? SDC. Unajua watu wengi sana, hata wewe mwenyewe nikikuuliza maana ya SDC, si watu wengi sana wanajua SDC inamaanisha nini. Kuna mtu anajua SDC inamaanisha nini ya ODM?
Special delegates is a special delegates convention. Special delegate convention.
Okay. Wacha kila mtu ako na jibu lake. Kila mtu ako na jibu lake. Special Delegates Congress, ama Special Delegates Committee, Special Delegate Strategy Committee. Watu wengi wanasema vitu mingi sana juu ya hiyo ODM, but waliweza kufanya hiyo mkutano yao vile walikuwa wameiandaa, but
Mzalendo, the key word is special.
The key word is special. Often unajua hiyo ndio inakuaga special, lakini hakunaga kitu special hapo hata kidogo. Ni kitu ambayo wamesikizana, na ni kitu ambayo wangemaliza kwa boardroom na waka juu hakuna pingamizi ilikuwa pale kwa hiyo SDC. But SDC generally ni ku make sure that recommendations za chama kwa wale waliteuliwa nao, hiyo wao madelegates wanakuja kuratify na kuaccept that hawa wana pingamizi yote, wanaweza chukua hizo nyadhifa. But kitu ile muhimu niliona kwa hiyo SDC, ile watu waangalii sana, sisi tunaangalia kwa siasa kwa undani. Party leader ni Bwana Uburu, chairman ni Bi Gladys Wanga. Hao ni watu wanatoka katika kabila moja. Hiyo tayari niliweka X kubwa sana, kwa sababu hiyo ioneshi ishara ya chama. Imekuwa hivyo tangu kitambo, ya kuwa Raila Odinga ndiye alikuwa party leader na akifuatiwa na John Mbadi, but hawa watu wasidhani hao ni Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga ni mtu tofauti sana. Ingekuwa ishara mzuri kuonyesha kuwa ODM ni chama ambayo inatambua kabila zote zile zinaisupport, wakiweka mtu ambaye anatoka kabila lingine kuwa party chairman ama party leader wa chama. Haya, ukienda kwa hiyo nyadhifa ya chini, wako na deputy leaders wanne, kwa sababu it means that hiyo chama inataka iwe na ushawishi katika kila hawataki kupoteza kura yote ya kita jamii fulani, but waangalii utendakazi wa jamii, waangalii utendakazi wa ule jamaa amewekwa pale kama deputy party leader, but wanaweka watu kama deputy party leaders ili wapate ile kura ya ile kabila fulani ama jamii fulani. Ukiona Abdul Naswar kutoka Mombasa amewekwa pale kama party leader ili wapate kura ya watu wa Mombasa, but waangalii huyu jamaa wamemweka party leader, angefaa awe deputy party leader, angefaa anaweza kuwa hata better chairperson wa chama ama party leader wa chama. So they don't look at merit, they look at a way of quelling the political tension within the party and the party structures of ODM by ensuring that each and every tribe is represented. Each and every tribe is represented either by deputies and all that. This is the only political party that has got 4 deputy chairpersons. 4 deputy chairpersons. I've never seen a political movement with 4 deputy chairpersons. That is irrelevant. That is the most irrelevant thing. It means that the decisions that they are making are not popular at the top. So if they were popular at the top, they could be cutting across each and every community. Inamaanisha hizo jambo wanajadili kule juu, saa zingine kuna kabila zingine hazikubaliani nayo. So hiyo ndio niliona katika hiyo SDC, na wale viongozi pia walikuwa recommended. Then Ben, ukauliza Winnie kuja pale katika kongamano. Winnie kuingia pale katika kongamano ni ishara ya kuwa hii chama nimekuwa katika hii chama, na hii chama ni ya baba yangu. Hiyo lazima ujue, Winnie ni mtoto wa Raila Odinga. Winnie ni mtoto wa Raila Odinga. Hawezi kubali chama ikienda without a fight. So lazima atapigania chama mahali yuko. Angekuwa katika kile kongamano lingine, na hii kongamano ndio wale wameshikilia chama. Hii kongamano la wazee ndio wale wameshikilia chama cha ODM. Hii kongamano la Sifuna na Babu Owino, those are the young turks, those are the young leaders who are coming up within the party. Now, those are the young people that Winnie was talking about, that tafadhali, hata kama sisi tuko kwa hii chama ODM tunakipenda, lakini lazima mtupatie nafasi ya uongozi. Katika hiyo in the next NDC meeting, I think Winnie Odinga will also be given a deputy party leader position.
Okay. Now,
Hmm?
I need to ask you two questions on that.
Yes.
One of them, I would start with what you've said last about that in the next NDC, Winnie will be given a bigger party position. And if he's given a bigger party position, will she support the broad-based government? That is one, because that is the stand of the party at this particular moment in time. Secondly, you've spoken about saying that this is Raila's party, but from the look of things, I was saying there was a transfer of ownership from the Raila's family to Oburu, because like if you are the chairman or you're the party leader, which means you have more powers to decide on what to do. How is Winnie going to at least now to have a say in a political party that the powers and honors have been transferred to his uncle?
You see, remember Winnie locked his uncle from JOF, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Foundation offices that his father used to conduct meetings. He locked his uncle out, and there were very big bouncers there, and the uncle could not access that office. Now, what Winnie has accepted is that, okay, fine, you guys have agreed that my uncle takes over the party. We don't want to be seen as fighting our uncle. Let the status quo remain, that huyu jamaa anashikilia chama. But from the look of things, this is not somebody who is going to run for the presidency of Kenya. This is somebody amewekwa tu hapo, akae tu hapo, ashikilie hiyo chama. And I think they have agreed as a family that, okay, Winnie, you cannot be the chairperson of ODM at this particular moment. Now, Ruth Odinga, you cannot be, the Kenyans will not accept you. So the only person they can accept easily is this old man who seems to be harmless. Yeah. So Oburu is just kept there as a caretaker. But again, remember that in the broad-based arrangement, there is somebody who is pulling the strings. And that somebody is called William Samoei Ruto. He really wants that ODM remains united at all costs. So he's the one pulling the strings on the other side in ODM so that it remains united, and he can reap and get the maximum 70% votes that are coming from Luo Nyanza. So for Winnie, just as many people have observed, His heart is in Linda Mwananchi movement, but his body is in the ODM fraternity led by his uncle.
Okay, and maybe to bring in Joseph to weigh his thoughts, and I want you to, before you speak about Winnie, I want you to give your thought, especially the presence of Ababu Namwamba, where he was said to be the special guest in that meeting.
Before you invite, I wanted to touch on something very small about Ababu Namwamba.
Yeah.
Ababu Namwamba, I remember Ababu Namwamba was kicked out as the Secretary General of ODM.
Yes.
Now, what is Ababu Namwamba's role right now? Ben, do you know what he does? Do you know his job?
I think is Ababu Namwamba. What I think is, one, Ababu Namwamba is going to be used to balance off Sifuna influence, especially in Western. That is one. Secondly, Ababu Namwamba is also going to come back to active politics through ODM, so that he can run for Busia Senate, and 2032 he can be Busia governor. So that is what I think, and he's going to. My thinking is that he might be the SG of the party.
Is Ababu Namwamba a cabinet secretary?
No, he's ambassador.
Ababu Namwamba is a high commission to,
High
I don't
commission.
think which
Uganda.
country. I don't remember. Uganda, I think.
Uganda.
Now, you need to look at politics. I agree with your point. That's how you know, sometimes politics can be like poetry. You can look at it in a different angle the way you are looking at it. But this is now raw politics. This is what you don't see.
Mm-hmm.
Ababu Namwamba presence in the ODM rally, that one is instructed by someone. That is one thing that you need to know. It must have been an instruction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that you have to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the leadership of ODM has also been instructed that this guy will play a very pivotal role should Sifuna quit the party. He is a replacement of Sifuna. Why is he a replacement? ODM, without Sifuna, they cannot get anyone who is close and who can match Sifuna's quality, even in debates and even in articulating the issues of the party within the structures that ODM has at the moment. So they had to bring back Ababu Namwamba. But it would be shameful for Ababu Namwamba to accept any role in ODM or in ODM. Just wait a minute. You'll get your chance. It will be very, very shameful for Ababu Namwamba to accept a role in ODM after they had kicked him out the way they did. And remember, Ababu Namwamba has also a political party. Akona chama yake. So everything that happened around Ababu Namwamba ilikuwa ameamrishwa fanya hivi, tokelezea pale. Ben, I was at the center of things when Ababu Namwamba was being kicked out. Maybe hata juu alifukuzwa job aje. Mimi najua vile Ababu Namwamba alifukuzwa kazi. Na siku hiyo tulikuwa na Junet hivi watu wawili tukikunywa chai mahali fulani. I'll tell you that story another day. Ababu Namwamba was kicked out very badly and mercilessly at ODM. And Raila Odinga always looked at Ababu Namwamba as a traitor and somebody who betrayed the party called ODM. For him to be brought back to the party ODM, it means that these guys have stooped so low that they can accept anything. Even Magarel ataingia atarudi ODM. Asante bana.
Okay, asante sana. To me, what I think before I invite Josephine to speak about Ababu Namwamba. Ababu Namwamba, we know, especially after exiting ODM, where he was accused of running with the party, remember, and the person that he was accused that he was working for was President William Ruto then, and that's why he left the party. And now he's coming back to the party. When he comes back to the party, I do not think that Ababu is coming back to be loyal to the party, but Ababu is coming back to be President William Ruto point man in ODM.
Thank you.
And when you look at even the politics of President William Ruto on how he worked with people in central Kenya, whereby he planted or he made sure that the people who are going to run for those political seats or those who are very loyal to him, people like Kabogo were kicked out. Remember when they were looking for nomination for Jubilee? What happened when President William Ruto was in charge of those nominations? He decided to kick those who were very, very fit, that were very threat to him. And that is what is going to happen. Because immediately after Ababu Namwamba left ODM, Ababu Namwamba has been working with President William Ruto for the longest time until today. So tell me today that Ababu Namwamba is going to say that I'm no longer going to work with President Ruto, I'm going to be the ODM. I'm still having the love that I had for ODM, surely. And that one, it would tell you how ODM are also too desperate. Like of all the delegates and the members in their leadership that they have, they cannot get a secretary general. They have to go and bring in or allow somebody whom they chose to be stable, who wanted to run with the party, now to be the party secretary general, if they think that. So that one will tell you how politics is. But the interest of Babu Namwamba in ODM, it's going just to do President William Ruto interest. Maybe Joseph, what would you say about Babu Namwamba, especially his presence, and what now people are saying that he is going to make a comeback through ODM to be active in politics?
Thank you, Brother Benson. I would just like to start by saying I would quote the words from my friend. I always watch him. He's called Lee Makwenyi. He always says that nothing is in politics is done just for the sake of it. And if there is something which is very strong in politics, it is the photo ops. The photo ops are very, very, very important in politics. So I agree with what you and Brother Benson are saying about Babu Namwamba, and you categorically stated what is going to happen, Brother Benson. That is what is going to happen. It was even is what I wanted to start with, that Babu Namwamba is just going to be brought in as an SG for ODM. And also Mzalendo is right by saying that there is somebody who is pushing that, because you cannot just say that Babu Namwamba just woke up and had the good he reminiscence the good times that he had in ODM. That's why he want to come back. So quite Ababu Namwamba, but the problem is, Brother Benson, I wanted to ask to talk on this SGC before I come to Ababu Namwamba, so that you can see where I'm laying down the foundation. Yesterday, I want to correct Brother Mzarendo, where he said that there is 4 deputies. Right now in ODM, they have only 3 deputies. If after what was done was ratified, because they kicked out Otsotsi, who was a deputy party leader in that party. And I think if you looked at all the positions that were created, none was given to the Luhya community in the top seat. And I think for them to try to cover that, they tried to show Ababu Namwamba. But now the other question comes, is the function of Otsotsi and Sifuna and the people like Akina Natembeya in Western, do you think that a person like Ababu Namwamba can be able to come and be able to be a great influence in the Western, where we have that faction of those people have named for you there. I think Ruto has seen that he has sensed danger, and he has sensed that the Western politics is becoming very too hot for them in terms of ODM. You know, Mzalendo said one thing that is very, very important in this conversation as ODM. Ruto wants a united ODM. He wants an ODM that has the backing like the one they had in 2022. He wants the ODM as a full car. Ataki ati gari haiko na miguu na gari haina side mirrors. He wants it as full as it was. But now the question is, can that ODM of 2022 be the one which will be in 2027? That is the question that people are supposed to be asking. As we are talking about this NDC and SDCs and what have you, is it going to be like that? Because, you know, Raila Odinga, if there was a person who I knew who was very, what can I say? He looked at all tribes as equal, was Raila Odinga. And I can tell you that because even yesterday there is a guy called Ndogonyoro, he's always following the politics. He said that if Raila could have been given other ministries, Brother Benson, other ministries from this government, he could have given the likes of other communities a chance to be there. Because even if you look at how he gave the special, what do we call them? What do we call these guys? The experts. Mm-hmm. The way he gave the experts, you can see that one was coming from where? From Luo. The other one was coming from Homa Bay. And you had somebody coming from the coast and one was coming from the Luya. So if he was given a chance, he could have even, and that's why Raila was pushing for Uhuru to also give his experts so that they can be able to combine that and have a fully fit cabinet, which was about to be to be tribeless, or have all the tribes, not tribeless, sorry, to have all the tribes. And I think Raila Odinga has been categorical in fighting for other communities, and that one I cannot take it away from him. But now the question is, there is a very good answer that Mzalendo gave. Do you think the so-called Wangas and the so-called Oburu Odinga can be the Raila Odingas of today? They can never. They can never match that. They can never match even his influence. They can never match the capability and the brain work behind Raila Odinga. Because Raila Odinga, the way he moved, Raila Odinga did not angekuja kuambia ati sisi tutakuwa na special NDC, tukuje to a special DC and tukuje tuongelee hizo mambo. Even the special conference you are talking about, in Raila's time haingeenda haraka hivyo. It could have taken time. We could have had a special NDC which could have taken time. No haste in choosing these leaders. And you could be having this kind of things that were very, you look at it and you see this looks like a national affair. Because even if you look at the elections which were done in 2022, Brother Benson, Raila Odinga had support across the country. That is one thing I'm going to give it to him. He had support. Even if you could look at the map which was being shown of how people voted for Raila Odinga, you could see he had support from even in the mountain, as people say. Raila Odinga got 1 million votes, Brother Benson. So Raila Odinga had support from across the whole country. Can you think the so-called likes of Akina Oburu Odinga and Gladys Wanga have had support like that of Raila Odinga? I think ODM, the problem with ODM is only one, Brother Benson. Mm-hmm. There is nobody to fill the shoes of Raila Odinga.
Okay,
that is where it is. Even Winnie cannot be able to fill those shoes. The only thing that she can do, I heard people saying, and it's correct also, that roho iko linda Mwananchi lakini mwili iko linda ground. It is true because she is looking at the future of ODM. And she's seeing like the future of ODM is going to lie with these young people. But when you look at the power and the influence where it is lying to, it is lying in the so-called Linda ground. Because something I was waiting to see, Brother Benson, and you have not noticed, and Mzalendo and Msimamo, I was waiting to see Otiende Omolo.
He was there. Otinda Molo was
And
ratified as the chair.
that's now what I was telling you. Where does the power lie in? You could have just known yesterday that the power is lying in Linda ground. But the future of ODM is lying in Linda Mwananchi. Because let me tell you, if they are going to go at it with William Ruto in this broad-based government, ODM is going to be killed as a party. I heard even the guy called the SSG of UDA saying that they are saying they are not going to be able to field candidates. They are going to be having a place where they are going to be talking about how they are going to field candidates, and that one is becoming a storm in a cup for the ODM and UDA. Remember that? Oh, sorry,
Joseph. Maybe in brief, before I invite him, Simamo, what could have been the best option for ODM?
In terms of,
if not working with UDA, what could have been the best option?
No, I'm not saying they should have not worked with UDA. What I was saying is, ODM, the first thing they could have done, they could have kept their house in order. And don't let any political influence from outside or people from outside influence their decision. If they could have done that, ODM could have gone to that pact when they were very powerful. So, but do you think, Brother Benson, William Ruto is going to give into ODM demands of giving them a deputy president? Do you think that is going to happen? That is the question we should ask ourselves, because the conditions that they are setting out for this broad-based arrangement, one of them is for them to be given the deputy presidency.
Okay, but Joseph, this is the question here.
Mbona mimi nkambe na mtazamo tofauti kidogo?
Okay, mzalendo nakuleta, ngoja tu kidogo ndio Joseph anijibu hapa. If you see the wing of Sifuna, there are all this counter accusation that there's somebody also who is pulling the strings on Sifuna's side, because there are people who are here competing for interest, maybe in ODM. So why can't we also say that the likes of Sifuna are also destabilizing the ODM?
And I've not said that they are not destabilizing. You know what Sifuna and the likes of Akina, is called this guy, governor of Siaya, Orengo, they are destabilizing ODM. And all of them, they are destabilizing that party, because some of them, they are saying that they need to be, you know Sifuna, when they are going and saying that he's still the SSG of ODM, what does that mean? It means that he's viewing like himself is not an inside member of ODM right now, then that they want to throw him out. So when somebody wants to throw you out, Brother Benson, like the way Ababu Namomba was done, what you'll do, you just try to have a way of trying to disrupt the party. And I think this one, all of it with the two factions, they could have just sat down and used their mechanisms to be able to. This was just a very simple thing, Brother Benson. Hii kitu ilikuja ikahype ikakuwa kitu kubwa sana. They could have been able to sit down and utilize the mechanism within their party to be able to quell all these issues. Because the main issue was Sifuna was removed as the SG. So if he was removed as the SG, what could the party leader have done? He could have called for a special sitting with even the trustees and the people who are not coming into terms together, because there's people who cannot come into terms, and speak as a party leader and say that we need to hold here and talk about this issue, because this issue, we as ODM members, all of us are ODM in blood. We need to come and have a debate on how we are going to be able to quell these wrangles that are happening in the party. But one thing I want to answer Eric Ayaga there. You know, Eric Ayaga has become a tribal mouthpiece, because every time he comes here, he wants to label me as a mountaineer, and it's very, very bad. I don't come here I'm not standing for any elective post in Mountain Kenya. I'm not standing for any presidential in Mount Kenya. Myself, I come to analyze the questions that Brother Benson you asked. You asked about the special NDC, the special DC that was done by ODM. You never asked about Keheka. If you asked about Keheka, I could answer about her. So it's very unfortunate that you can bring such a thing into a very serious debate. It's not good.
All right. Okay, thank you so much. Msimamo, labda uko na maono ama unaweza sema haje kuhusu kuwepo kwa Babu na Mwamba pale katika kile mkutano?
Asante. Kabla ningela Babu na Mwamba, kwanza niangalie lengo haswa la UDA kujiunga na ODM ni nini? Lengo haswa apart leader wa UDA kujiunga na ODM. Lengo ni lipi? Lengo najiuliza, lengo ni kuona kwamba ni kwa sababu ODM ndio chama kubwa, chama kina watu wengi, chama kina wafuasi wengi, kwa hivyo kwa kukusanya hao wafuasi wakiwa upande wake na wakimuunga mkono atasustain, ama lengo ni kuua chama na kutengeneza chama chake? Ni kuua chama na kutengeneza chama chake. Kwa nini nazungumza hayo mambo mawili? Kwa mfano, kama ni kuua chama, ODM definitely haswa ya broad based government ama Linda Mwananchi, wao hawana sauti yoyote mbele yake. Lazima wamnyenyekee, wamsikize, wamfuate kwa kila jambo ambalo haswa wao wanapanga haswa kuweza kulitengeneza, kutokana haswa na huu muingiliano wa Linda Mwananchi na Linda Ground. So already hapo ni credit kwake kwamba ODM sasa hivi, yani kivyovyote hii haswa ya Linda Mwananchi yani Linda Ground haiwezi ondoka kwenye kiganja chake. Then secondly, in my views ni kwamba kama pengine ODM hii ya Linda Mwananchi basi ni basically kwa Luo Nyanza na pengine part of Nairobi, kwa sababu kama ni Mombasa for free, I can tell for free, ni Mombasa mapwani, it's like viongozi wote wamekuwa locked kwa UDA. Yani kwamba huku kusema ni UDA sasa hivi viongozi wote, Kwale inaongoza viongozi wote kuanzia governor up to MCS, wao wanaamini na UDA. Then ukirudi Kilifi, Kingi kaoa pa, meaning kwamba yeye ndio the kingpin kule, ndio kusema ndio kiongozi mkubwa kule. Akina Mng'aro akina nao wote wanamtazama, akina Shajuma wanamwangalia Kingi sasa hivi, na King ni UDA. Ukirudi sasa kwa hawa ndugu zetu Kasa ambao sasa ni Joho na Swamad, wao wanaangalia hapo kura ya hapo Mombasa, haswa basically Mombasa hapo haswa kwamba washikilie vizuri. Na ukitazama haswa kiundani, kweli kiguu kiko kwa ODM, yani mwili uko kwa ODM, lakini roho iko kwa UDA. Kwa nini wanaanza kudemand at early stage kwamba lazima tukae hapa? Ama basi iwe ndio mpango mzima huo kwamba wapewe hiyo docket na wakinzane na Kindiki. Na sidhani kama hilo linaingia katika hesabu yangu vizuri, kwamba labda katika mpango huu wa broad based government na basi ni kumpa haswa makamu wa rais Joho, ili kutofautisha ule ukabila, isionekane kwamba kila kitu kimeenda kwa Nyanza. But itakuwa ngumu sasa kwa Kindiki na pato Mlima Kenya hiyo ya upande mwingine. So hapa it's like kwamba ODM hii ya Linda Mwananchi itagawiwa mahali ambapo sehemu ambazo wataweza kusimamisha, na namaanisha kwamba watabezi zaidi Luo Nyanza na Nairobi. Hapo ndo wamelenga, kwa sababu ODM haswa ina stronghold Nairobi zaidi. So labda pengine hii kwa tool ya bwana wa party leader wa UDA kuhakikisha kwamba nikiungana na wao jamaa Nairobi ikichukua na backup ODM, still bado itakuwa ni favor kwangu na itakuwa ni plus kwangu. So hii ni game ya mahesabu kimtazamo wangu. Kwa hivyo kivyovyote vile, lakini kwa kweli kama ni cost kila ilivyo, hawa tuangalie semi zao, lakini tuangalie lengo sasa liko wapi, wako wapi. It's like all cost leaders wameamua kuback up UDA, hata kama yuko kwa ODM but wako hapo. That's why unakuta una hiyo demand ya deputy wa rais haswa, unaona kutoka huko, na wana demand hivyo haswa kutoka ODM. Wacha nirudi sasa kwa Babu na Mwamba. Babu na Mwamba hatafanya lolote, kwa sababu pia ni vile kwamba ameletwa pale tu kuja kusukuma mlevu, na ni hesabu pia hii imetoka mahali pia kwamba ODM inapangiwa so ya Linda ground, unaona. So akija pale it's like kamba ataleta labda mvuto fulani hivi of which kutokana na, lakini ni game ya kupanga, kwa sababu hawa watu washengi ya mchecheto haswa, na walivyoona kwamba Linda Mwananchi ina nguvu zaidi haswa kwenye watu wala si kwenye viongozi, na hii Linda ground iko na nguvu upande wa viongozi wala si kwa watu, na sidhani kama hapo sasa mwenye ushindi ni nani, kwa sababu wewe ndio ni kiongozi, unatafuta hatima yako ya kurudi tena katika uongozi come 2027 huko kwa ODM, but wafuasi wote wamechekwa haswa na Linda Mwananchi. Unajua lazima uwe na mahesabu, itakuwaje? Lazima hapo tuangalie vizuri hapo. So hii it's like nasema iko na viongozi kila mahali, but viongozi hao walitengenezwa katika uongozi wa mwenda zake, na ni jambo wanalizungumzia kila siku hapa. Tusisifu ni chama kikubwa, tukisifu ni chama kikubwa baada ya kuondokewa na aliyeshika hatamu za party leader kama Oburu, kuhakikisha kwamba ameweza kusurpass ile nguvu ilikuwepo haswa, ama ile nguvu ilikuwepo haswa wakati wa mwenda zake, ama wawiane hapo, yani wawe bado wamewiana hapo in terms games na numbers na kila kitu, na pia na kuweza kuonekana kwamba ni chama kinatambulika the whole over the country. So hapo, so kwa kweli mimi sina mambo mengi hapa ya kuzungumzia hapa. Ababu na Mwamba na ameletwa tu pale kusukuma mlevi, na haitaleta mashiko yote, kwa sababu already tayari haswa watu wako Mwananchi wako kwa Linda Mwananchi, maana huku ndo kunazungumzwa yale ambayo mwananchi anataka kuyasikiza, si haya ya kwamba sisi tumepigania muda mrefu na sisi hatutakuwa hapo kwa sababu baba alituacha hapa na tutabaki hapa hapa, na hapo ambapo panalazimishwa ndipo hapo ambapo kuna ufujaji wa mali ya umma, hapo ndo kuna insecurity hakuna, hapo ndipo ambapo haswa harama ya maisha imekuwa tabu, hapo ndo ambapo haswa school fees imekuwa lazima bursaries na nini na kadhalika, yani shana everything haifanyi. So mwananchi anachanganyikiwa, ndio naenda kwa power fine, but anda huu usimamizi wa nani yuko pale juu ambaye ataweza haswa kunihakikisha kwamba haya ambayo mfano nimeyataja yamepata suluhu. So unakuta mwananchi sikio lake zaidi litabaki kwa Linda Mwananchi, kwa sababu ndiko kunakozungumziwa. So mkutano wa jana wa upande huo na upande huu, ule mmoja ilikuwa ni kuonyesha kwamba sisi tumekuja hapa na tumerepresent wajumbe wote all over the country, sawa, kwa sababu wao wajumbe wako tayari kwenye kazi, wachaguliwa. Lakini je, hatima ya 2027 ni ipi haswa katika ODM ya Oburu na hii ya Orengo? Hapo ndo kwenye maswali mimi najiuliza. Asante.
Okay, asante sana. Naona hata muda wetu tumechukua takriban masaa mawili, na inafaa sisi pia tutafute ili tuende tukalale. But kabla tujaenda, mimi nataka kwa njia ya ufupi tu, Mzalendo, I want you to kindly, I'm requesting you to be brief, especially on what Sifuna said to Oburu. I will not be your SG, and he said that I'll not be party of that mediocrity. And the people who feel that that was quite an insult and disrespectful to Oburu Odinga, especially Edwin Sifuna being somebody who has always say that is following the roots and the
Kaka Benson mjibu Ayaga kwamba Kwale asiseme ni ODM, Kwale ni UDA. Kwale ni UDA, si ODM. Kwa sababu ODM ni senator tu Isa Jumabo tulimpitisha hapa, na wa UDM ambaye naye pia aliweza akatoka kula kakwiti na amerudi paso. Hao ndio viongozi ambao, na Masito na huyu Isa Boy ndio wa ODM all two position. But ukiangalia governor ni UDA, ukiangalia Fazul yule wa Msambweni ni UDA, Gonzi Rai ni UDA. So it's like viongozi wote ni UDA sasa hivi, na wote tena wamekaa katika mkao mmoja, wamerudi kuhakikisha kwamba wao wanasimama na UDA. So tusijidanganye tukuseme kwamba kuna ODM, hata Isa pia kiguu kiko huko kwa UDA, kutokana na huo ndio mfumo ambao uko Kwale. So Ayaga bi kuwa mkweli hapa, na sisi tuko ground tunazungumza the real facts kwa sababu tuko huko. Asante.
Okay, asante sana. Active sana. Mzalendo, what do you say about the statement of Oburu in brief, then Joseph, then I can wind up with Simam. Yeah.
Now, before I go to Sifuna and Oburu's part, I just have a small announcement to make here. You remember the lady who normally comes to Africa and sometimes contributes in Africa, called Angie. Amepoteza mtoto wake.
Oh, I know Angie. Yeah,
You
the
know
kid was.
Angie. Many of you know Angie so well. And the daughter has been suffering from cancer at Kenyatta National Hospital. Unfortunately, last evening, she passed on. So keep Angie in your prayers, and if you
Okay.
can reach out to her, tashukuru sana.
All right. Thank you so much.
Now back to our politics. Siasa yetu ni confrontational, yani ni ile tunapigana, tunaonyeshana ubabe. Ukipatia msimamo microphone aongee, hata kuonyesha vile yeye ni shujaa wa Mijikenda, na atishwi na mtu wote. So Sifuna ni mbukusu. So yale aliyasema ama yaliyanena ni ya ukweli kabisa, kwa sababu ukiangalia vizuri sana hawa wazee wanatupotosha, wanatuelekeza mahali ingine tutatoka tena. For me, mtu kama Oburu Odinga ni watu wale tunafaa kuwasoma kwa museum, apelekwe kule kwa museum tuende tumsome. Yani huyu aliishi miaka sijui ngapi, mzee mkongwe aliishi miaka 80 na ngapi na kuna miaka ngapi, 86 ama 90. So huo ni watu wanafaa kusomwa katika museum. So ni watu wengine wafai kutupatia mwelekeo, especially vijana. Sioni kama Oburu Odinga atatupatia mwelekeo wowote ili tuende tukumsoma kule katika museum, ili pale Museum of Kenya. Hao ni mafossil, they have no idea and they don't know where the country is moving.
Labda tunaweza sema kumhifadhi.
Kumhifadhi, huyo ni mtu anafaa kuhifadhiwa kama wale Zinjanthropus na nini, asomwe mamishipa manini. Ni mtu anafaa kusomwa, kwa sababu kwa vile pia anajiita youth leader. Sasa unajua huyu ni mtu wa vituko sana. Mzee mkongwe sana anaitwa youth leader. Na pia ukitazama vizuri sana, uchaguzi kuitwa sahihi na ODM iseme ina presidential candidate wao watakuwa ni Oburu Odinga. Oburu Odinga macho alisema yeye macho siku hizi haoni, lakini yeye ndio party leader. Na ukiangalia mtu kama huyo jamaa anaitwaje, nimemuona pale anaongea sana, huyu Ayanga, tafadhali usikue watu wale tunaoitaga village bimbo. Village bimbo ni watu umesoma sana, lakini unafikiria ni kama mtu anachunga mbuzi ama ng'ombe. So Kenya imesonga sana, na ile kitu ile ningekosoa kidogo. Kuna uzuri tunaona huku mbele, na vile Ruto anazidi kumeza hizi machama ndogo ndogo ama chama kubwa kubwa anazimeza, ni mzuri. Msimamo ni mzuri, kwa sababu nasema ni mzuri. Kenya tuko na machama zaidi ya 200, political parties zaidi ya 200. Hizi political parties zile views zinasimamia, sijui ni nini zinasimamia hizo zote. Political parties 200. Marekani tuna political party hata zipiti 3. So hizi chama zikimezwa, wakuwe ni chama moja, wanafikiria moja, then nao wengine watarudi wote kwa upinzani, wakuwe ni nguvu moja. So tukienda uchaguzi, tunajua kuna chama cha upinzani na chama cha utawala. So hiyo ni ishara mzuri inaelekea, although inakuja vibaya, lakini ni ishara mzuri. Hizi chama ndogo ndogo zikiweza kumezwa na UDA, wacha zimezwe. Kama ODM inataka kumezwa, wacha imezwe. Hakuna issue yoyote ina represent ile itasaidia mwananchi sahi na wako kwa serikali. Ile chama zile itasaidia wananchi sahi, wale watakosoa serikali ni wale wako kwa upinzani.
Okay.
Yeah, hiyo ndio maoni yangu kaka, na nimeshukuru sana.
Okay, asante sana. Usitoke, wacha ndugu yetu atumalizie. Labda Mzalendo, we kauli yako ni vipi kulingana na yale maneno Sifuna alisema kwa Oburu kwamba we siwezi kuwa SG wako na utafute SG?
Leo tumekushika off guard hapo kwa sababu kuna msimamo na Mzalendo, na mara nyingi wewe unastiki kwa Mzalendo. Sasa leo Mzalendo yuko papa hapa na msimamo yuko papa hapa, leo patamu mbona hapa.
Unajua mara mingi bwana, kuna siku msimamo amenitoroka, ameniambia kwenda kabisa bwana, huyu jamaa sitaki kumsikiza.
Kaka, mimi hakika, wacha nikwambie, mimi na hulka yangu kwanza, nina kitu kimoja ambacho ninacho, ile humanity. Wote ni binadamu, wote ni wanadamu. Kutofautiana mawazo si tutofautiane akili, hapana, kwa sababu mwisho wa siku tutahitajiana. So tukija hapa kama tumechambana lakini haimaanishi ati nimetengeneza uhadui kiasi kwamba nimuone Mzalendo basi nisimsalimie, nisimpe maji ya kunywa, nisimpe karimu, basi nitakuwa nimebuketi
bana nini.
So wasiweki hapo. Mimi that's why unakuta mimi nikikupata umefungua show ni vile sijapata tu nafasi ya kwamba nimeona show yako, labda vile sija subscribe, nitumie link, have my number, nitumie link, nitakuwa kwa show, kwa sababu kakaangu mkubwa ni kwamba mimi lengo kubwa hapa ni kuhakikisha kwamba hamasa inaingia kila mahali. Maybe hii sauti ya msimamo itaweza kupata watu wawili watatu ambao watasimama katika msimamo na waelewe hili taifa liko katika mikono yetu.
Wacha nikuambie msimamo kabla uendelee. Wacha tu nikushukuru kidogo. Wacha nikushukuru. Ile muda umechukua sasa ni zaidi ya karibu miaka 4 kukuja kwa mtandao na kuongea siasa. Na kuambia usione ni kama ulipoteza wakati. Umetengeneza marafiki, umeelimisha watu na watu wamefaidika sana na msimamo wako wakati unatokea katika hizi YouTube channel, kwa sababu hapa tunaongea vitu ambao zinafanyika kwa ground. Sisi tukitaka kujua watu wa Mombasa wanafikiria nini, msimamo watatuambia nini inafanyika kule kwa ground vile kunaendelea. Tukitaka kujua uondo huko Europe kunaendelea aje, Gudia atakuambia hapa kuko hivi na hivi. Kwa hivyo tusione ya kuwa tunapoteza wakati, na mimi nakuheshimu sana kwa wakati wale umekuwa hata ukiwa kwa hizo mtandao zingine, mimi nakusikiza na kuna elimu 1 2 3 ninaweza sema msimamo alinifundisha, unaona.
Okay, asante sana.
Hajamaliza. Maliza sasa msimamo.
Namwambia amalize sasa.
Huyu jamaa pengine ako juu ya mnazi. Wewe msimamo. Hebu rudi.
Naona Gudia Gypsy Corner pia msimamo. Labda tu kwa ufupi tu, nilikuwa nataka kusikia tu maoni yako kuhusu hayo matamshi ambayo yalitolewa na Edwin Sifuna, ambapo watu wanasema kwamba amepoteza heshima kwa Oburu. Wewe kwako vipi?
Asante. Mimi naona hajapoteza heshima, lakini amezungumza kile kiko ndani ya nafsi yake, na amesema kwamba siwezi kuwa SG wa Oburu, meaning Linda Mwananchi na Linda Ground ni chama ya Oburu sasa hivi, na wale ambao ni wandani wake, kina Junet, kina Wanga, kina Mbadi na kina Opio. So hawezi kuwa SG wa hao akaacha uhalisia ule ambao haswa ulikuwa ndani ya ODM, mzizi ule ambao umeachwa na mwenda zake wa ODM ni chama ambayo itasimama kwa niaba ya mwananchi, na kama ni kwa niaba ya mwananchi, basi ni wa pembe zote za hili taifa. Huo ndio uhalisia wa ODM, na unakuta hata 2002 ODM lisimama upinzani kukinzana na kile ambacho kinatendeka kwa serikali. The new ODM ambayo sasa ipo ni kwamba sasa hiyo inalipiza kisasi one community, sehemu moja tu, maeneo ya mlima, kwamba nao lazima mlima nao waingie pale pale ambapo tulikuwepo na sasa tunajitoa pale. So unakuta katika hiyo hali inautoa ule uhalisia haswa na uhalisia na upenzi wa ODM haswa katika utaifa, inauvua katika utaifa, sasa inauleta katika ueneo. So inakuwa ni chama ya eneo ama chama ya jamii, of which that's si hiyo. Na ndio maana nasema ODM ile ambayo ni ya Oburu, siwezi kuwa SG wao mimi, bado nitakuwa SG wa ODM ile ambayo haswa naamini kwamba imepikwa. Hii sasa ambayo mzee Orengo amesimama kidedea, hii ambayo inamwacha Winnie hajui asimame wapi mtoto wa kike huyu haswa, ambaye ana hamu kubwa ya kuweza kuvivaa viatu hivi vya baba yake. Unaona, yani ana hamu, kama angepewa nafasi basi anaamini kwamba hasika ODM hii ingependwa na kila mtu, kwa sababu angejia yale haswa hususu angeleta uongozi mpya huu wa chepukizi. Unaona, na ODM pia ingeweza kusonga mbele zaidi kuliko ni mahali ambapo sasa hivi ODM imejikita na imesimama hapa. So kwa kweli mimi kwa swali hilo ambalo umeniuliza, mimi sioni kibaya kwamba amemtusi ama amemkosea ama amemvunjia heshima Oburu, but alisema aswa hii ODM ya Oburu, meaning si Oburu tu but all acts ya kina Oburu, kwa sababu Oburu, mzee Oburu mwenyewe anasema sisi hatuwezi toka hapa kwa sababu ndugu yangu alituacha hapa hapa na tutabaki hapa hapa. Unaona, meaning kwamba wao wako because of power, wako kwa niaba ya power, lakini hawapo kwa niaba ya kuweza kulibadili hili taifa, haswa kutokana haswa na uongozi ambao upo, na tupate uongozi ambao utakuwa unamjali kila mtu, unampa nafasi kila mtu, unampa maendeleo kila jamii. Yani isihisi kwamba itakuwa jamii ile imetengwa kwa sababu haina uongozi kule, haina wajumbe wa kuweza kuwa represent. Isionekane kwa sababu wana wachache wa wajumbe kule, jamii kwa sababu ni ndogo, so iko na watu wawili ama mtu mmoja, basi haisikizwi, kwa sababu anayesikizwa ni wale ambao ni wengi, kwa sababu wataleta kingi wakati wa kura. Unaona, so tuondokane katika hiyo hali, katika hiyo ya hilo taifa. So to me Sifuna yuko sawa kuzungumza kile ambacho anaona kwake. Sasa sijaona kwamba hapa kuna kumkosea mzee wetu heshima.
Alright.
Lakini nikimalizia, mwenye kukosewa heshima ni yeye, kwa sababu kuondolewa kwake hakujakidhi vigezo. Hili mahakama limethibitisha, japo hawezi toa suluhu la ODM. Unaona, lakini kweli haswa ule mfumo mzima uliotengenezwa haswa kuweza kumwondoa huyu bwana, hata kama hakuwa na adhabu, hatuoni kosa, kwa sababu kosa lake ni kwamba mimi sitafungamana na hii serikali ambayo iliamuru haswa vijana wetu haswa wakienda maandamano wapigwe risasi kwa miguu, na mimi sitasimama hapo. Na ana haki kwa sababu ni mwana Kenya, ana haki kwa sababu ni kiongozi, ana haki kuzungumza yale. So kwa hili sidhani kwamba huku ndiko kukosa adhabu kwa chama, kwa sababu kama angebaka pakasema na mimi pia ni miongoni mwa Linda Ground, nadhani angekuwa sasa hivi ni SG, wala hakungekuwa kunazungumziwa lolote lile kama angejiunga swa upande huu. Kosa lake ni kuweza kukinzana na kusimama katika uasilia ule wa ODM, kwamba ni chama ambacho kitakuwa kunakosoa haswa, ni chama ambacho tunakitegemea kwa kukosoa kile ambacho serikali inafanya chini ya maji, hatukielewi. Unakuta baba alikuwa anazuka na tueleza kwamba kuna jambo fulani linafanyika, na kweli hilo jambo huwa linafanyika. Ndio maana tuliweza kumwamini mzee haswa katika hiyo hali, na ndio maana tuliweza kuamini chama haswa kwamba wale ambao wanakuzwa katika hiki chama basi ni viongozi ambao hakika kweli wanaaminika katika hili taifa. So to me sidhani kama hapo amekosewa heshima, yeye ndo alikosewa heshima, wala hajakosea mtu heshima. Asante.
Okay, asante sana kakangu kwa maoni yako. Pia ningependa kuchukua nafasi hii kushukuru wale ambao walikuwa na sisi. Judith alikuwa hapa, Paulo alikuwepo, tunasema asante sana. Vivian tu, asante sana. Tulikuwa na Eric Ayaga pia, asante sana kujiunga na sisi. Tukakuwa na Active Wisdom, also thank you so much for joining us. Nyamu, let me see, Nyamu, too, thank you so much. Good year, thank you so much. It's almost 2 hours. We've been on conversation about the politics of the day. I hope and I believe tomorrow too, that is Sunday morning, we will be here with Mzalendo and all our panelists to give our views on the issues that are trending in the political landscape. And we were streaming in 2 channels, that is Afrique 24 and Brother Benson Media. If you are new in those 2 channels, you can subscribe so that when we go online, the YouTube will notify you, so you become part of the conversation. With those few remarks, let me take this opportunity also to thank my panelists, that is Mzalendo and Musimamo. They usually bring me confusion sometimes. When I'm with Musimamo, I will always call him Mzalendo and vice versa. So
yeah, but Shama namba with Mzalendo Swazi can send me the link wakati akifungua channel yake pia niweze kuingia huko.
Okay, asante sana.
Unajua huyu jamaa namba yake ya simu. Wacha kwa hebu weka hiyo namba yako hapo. Ni kwa private chat bana. Uko na namba yake Ben?
Enda kutumia.
Sawa. Nitumie namba ya Msimamo.
Okay, sawa. Asante sana and may God bless you all.
All right, sawa.